Now, to the big lie being pushed around in Australian politics today. Unsurprisingly, it comes from our mate Eachway Albo, and when I say mate, I don't mean it. Albo has decided to jump onto the Twitter train and do his bit for the internet's toilet door, suggesting that facts matter. And the fact is that the government has cut funding and jobs from the ABC. It's not true. The Prime Minister makes that point today.
ABC's funding is increasing every year. Yep. The ABC would be the only media company, organisation in Australia today whose revenue, their funding, is increasing. It would be the only one in the country. But I got to say, if you're working in the media industry today, if you're a journalist today, the safest place for you to be is actually at the ABC, because your revenue is guaranteed in that industry by the government. For journalists working in so many other media companies, they are doing it really tough.
Correct. The facts are these. This is the guaranteed funding. These are the real dollars that have gone into the bank account of Channel 2 every year since 2012. A billion, 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 a billion. It'll be another billion this year, and another billion next year, and another billion the year after that. Last time I checked, if you're still being paid the same, it's not a cut. But a perfect example about just how they drag their feet over there at Channel 2. There was an efficiency review which was ordered by the federal government in 2018. They released their report about how they could save some money when it comes to public broadcasting. Now, they're talking about massive job cuts and all the rest of it. They were just talking about the basic thing of two public broadcasters. What can you do to make sure that with your guaranteed $1 billion ABC, and SBS is a whole another few $100 million. But for the $1 billion of the ABC, what can you do? Well, here were some of the suggestions. The ABC should consider, in the longer term, whether it should reduce its linear terrestrial broadcast channels from 4 to 2 to allow greater focus on and investment in high-quality news, drama, children's, Indigenous programming on those two channels and online, including an enhanced ABC iView. They're not saying that fewer shows should be made. They're just saying that the ABC shouldn't have 4 different free-to-air TV channels. Instead, the stuff that no one is watching on ABC Me or what was formerly ABC Comedy or these types of channels, that they should be digital offerings on the ABC iView platform, which is wildly successful. And Bluey, that great, incredible Australian kids show, may he get a gold logie, or may she get a gold logie and the rest of her family. Just always think about Bandit the Dad. They've had a couple of 100 million views on that platform. So it's not a place to go and die, it's a place to go and thrive. But the physical cost of a television station that shows things in order, that shoves a signal down the pipe and up into the air and out across the country, costs money. But in a world where you can still create the content but put it over the internet, it costs less money. Another one of the suggestions is that, unsurprisingly, perhaps the payroll office, the HR office, the marketing office of the two public broadcasters could perhaps be the same thing. Maybe there could just be one office that deals with all of those things. But no, we can't do that. Instead, you know how we're going to save some money? We're going to get rid of a 15-minute news bulletin that is prepared by exactly the same people who prepare the one at 7 a.m, the same one at 9 a.m, the same one at 6 a.m, the same one at 10 a.m. I know this because I worked in radio news for years. Nobody just presents one 15-minute bulletin. Nobody's writing, they're just one 15-minute bulletin. And if they are, of course they should lose their job, because there are plenty of other roles to be filled, plenty of other busy things to happen. Of course, other examples about how your taxes are absolutely what needs to be spent, because we have to get rid of the 15-minute news bulletin, is this story today from one of their online websites. Online racism is everywhere. How to fight it without spreading it. That was under the so-called science section, by the way. Oh yeah, and there's the ABC radio show that is still pushing on with, is chess racist? Because white people, the white bits go first. It was invented in India in the 6th century, where the white man didn't have much of a say back then.